Okay, this is part two. So I'm gonna break it down to you nice and smooth. You gotta know your way around a fight. You have to, because if you don't, there's a saying that's going around where it says, "Fucking around and find out." And the thing about that is, if you don't know how to fight, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn the easy way, or you're gonna learn the hard way. And the school of hard knocks is not a fucking joke. That is some real deal shit that you're gonna have to understand how that shit works. If someone's taking you to the school of hard knocks, they're taking you to the school of hard knocks. It is not going to be a pleasure cruise. It is not going to be the school of the Xavier Gifted School of Youngsters. And we're going to learn real quick. You can't duck them all. You can't block them all. You will absorb a lot. So you better know how to do it and do it right. You got to learn how to roll with punches. Which is why I tell people you have to be well-rounded in all of your training. You can't just stick to one or two base martial arts. You have to be well-rounded. I suck at jiu-jitsu, but not standing jiu-jitsu. I suck at Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I suck at that shit big time. And I know you're thinking, there's a standing jiu-jitsu? There was. Well, it's evolved to just jiu-jitsu, which is now a combo of the standing and grappling. So, it's a longer story than you think. In the late 80s, uh, or early 80s, late 70s, um, you know, evolutions happen in martial arts. And you will learn to evolve or you will fall. And I tell people all the time, my base martial arts is mostly Chinese Kung Fu. Alright? Shaolin Kung Fu, Wushu, Karate, Kempo, Taekwondo. Those are my base martial arts that I started studying in. Then, like, Taekwondo, no one would teach me the tornado kick, so I started taking Kempo. Somebody taught me the hurricane kick, which is the exact same goddamn kick. And how martial arts relate and how moves relate. That's the thing. Now, what they don't teach you in martial arts is that getting kicked in the face sucks. Getting punched in the face, even if it's an accident, that shit still fucking sucks. Alright? And I know there's a smile on my face when I said that shit, but it does suck. It sucks. Getting hit anywhere on the body really sucks. Getting kicked anywhere on the body sucks. But when you watch all these people on these YouTube videos, they leave that shit off. I don't know why, but they leave that shit off. It's like one of the most integral parts of getting in a fucking fight is knowing that you feel pain. Now, when that adrenaline kicks in and you're not feeling pain, okay. But when that shit goes away and that pain seeps in like a fucking thunderclap, then you have fucking problems. Which goes back to getting faced in the face. Fucking sucks. Alright? And you gotta understand, the only thing you carry into a fight is knowledge of what you believe you can do. You've been trained, so you carry that in. You field tested your training, so you know that that shit works to a degree. Because what works on the guy you fought today ain't gonna work on the guy you fight tomorrow. You have to always be adapting in a fight. If I fight one guy today and I fight a totally different guy tomorrow, I'm not gonna beat him with what I use on this guy today. Because I don't know if he was in that crowd watching that shit. He could have been studying me the whole motherfucking time. And that's the thing you gotta understand about situational awareness. Yeah, you gotta be focused on that guy that you're fighting. But you need to be aware of all them other motherfuckers around you too. Because if you're not, somebody out the crowd might be like, alright, I seen how this motherfucker roll. I'm gonna take his ass on tomorrow. No reason at all. Might pop out the woodwork and decide that they want to attack you. And shit can happen. Trust me when I tell you, shit can happen. But people will be like, alright, I don't like this motherfucker. I'm just gonna pop out the woodwork. I've watched him. I've seen him training. I'm going to do everything I can to to you know fuck him up. It does happen. Now here's the thing: when it comes down to the bottom line, you have to understand that fights change like that. It's not like wrestling where I'm beating you for the first 5 minutes of the match, and then the next 10 minutes of the match, you just put me through the goddamn ringer. We don't put on a clinic. It becomes a one-sided ass whooping. A lot of fights are like that, where it's just a one-sided ass whooping right from the drop. I haven't been hit in the face in a long time, and the last time I said that, a couple of hours later, I got hit in the face. So, I didn't think I could still take a hit. Honestly, I will not lie. That's how this shit happened. Because this is the only other thing that you can chalk up as a loss. And I'll take it as a loss, but I also take it as a learning experience, which is why I don't wear my seatbelt properly in the car. So I don't know if I tell you guys the story, but I'll tell you the story. So me, CLS, J Diz, and Mad Bud, all three of them were my brothers. Only one of them were biological. We were all in the room across the hall watching SmackDown. And I have a weak stomach, so they were talking about like puke and shit. So I went outside and I puked. My drunken cousin, his name's Tony, asshole. He pulled up in a stolen car. I didn't know it was stolen because Tony doesn't live in Virginia. He lived in North Carolina. He's Malcolm Doc's child. I jump in the car. He almost drives us into the bus stop at Stoney's, and then he almost drives us to the bus stop at Montrose. I was like, nope, let me drive. I was like, swapping out. Now, see, basically, he should get an Oscar for acting like he was drunk as fuck. Alright? Got my little glasses on. Just driving. I have no idea what I'm about to head into. And so, when we get to Woodrow's or Wolfie's, it's by Putt Putt. It's no longer there. Now it's a garage, like, lawn and gardening thing. And this guy who owns the van is skipping like a little 2-year-old girl. And I slam on the brakes. And he skips right up to that window. BAM! Hits me in my face. And I can't process it fast enough before I'm hit again. And I'm stuck in the seatbelt, which is why I don't wear my seatbelt properly. So, on that second hit, I started remembering who the fuck I was. And that I actually can fight. So I went for the seatbelt, and I couldn't get the seatbelt off. It is a double release. It's got like that long square one, but it's also got that tiny square. So I'm like, okay, I'm getting out of this bitch. He's gonna die. Because after he hit me, he cut me, my glasses broke and they fell on the floor of the car. And I pointed to him and said, you're fucking dead, buddy. And I was gonna kill this bastard. I didn't give a fuck. So I couldn't get out seatbelt. The cops scooped him up, put him in the car. My cousin Tony jumped out of the car. It's actually a van, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say it's a car. It's actually a van. It's like a fucking Astro or whatever. Whoever makes the Astro, fuck you. Anyway, it's an Astro. And so I finally got out the seatbelt, and this 400-plus-pound car cop comes in, and he's sitting on me. And he says, you ain't going nowhere, son. So he puts his right arm and his gun on me. So his gun leg's on me, and he's pushing me up against the seat, and he has his right arm under my throat. And he's talking mad shit, right? And he's like, I got you, son. You ain't going nowhere. And I'm like, yep. But if you look at my pinky, it's in your sugar wall. I got you. I don't want to go to jail for killing a cop today. But that motherfucker in that van, I'm fucking his shit up. And it's just like, what? I was like, look at my left hand, man. First and foremost, they should have told you in the police academy that you do not put your right leg if you're right-handed because your weapon is on that leg in the vehicle on a suspect. If I wanted to, you'd be dead. Because my gun is in my pocket now. And by my gun, I mean his gun. Because it's no longer his gun. If this pinky can get into your trigger wall because you're wearing the spinny holster like an idiot, you die. It's your fault. It's like, what? I said, look at my left hand, man. So my left hand's on your gun. I said, you have no idea who the fuck you are dealing with right now. But I'm the guy with your gun. He's like, well, you know you stole this van. I said, I ain't stole a motherfucking thing. This is my cousin's van. He said, son, this is not your cousin's van. I took my hand off his gun. And I put him like this, and he put the handcuffs on me. There was no more problems after that. He told me to go sit on the bench. And then the big brother started talking shit. You guys have seen me do bound fighting here. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to kill the big brother, and I'm going to kill the little brother. And I'm going to kill my cousin last because he got me into this shit. So he's talking shit. And I looked at him, I said, dude, you don't know who the fuck I am. Oh, well, you stole our van. I said, I ain't steal a motherfucking thing. I drove it. I didn't steal it. And so he's talking shit. I was like, well, you can't do shit to me because you're in handcuffs, little man. I said, oh, these things? I said, motherfucker, these is weapons. I said, you have no idea who the fuck I am. And I will fucking eliminate your shit. So then the cop came over and said, you need to stop threatening him. I said, motherfucker, I'm going to jail anyway. So I'm going to make damn sure that I'm going to give y'all a motherfucking reason. I'm going to kill that motherfucker, and I'm going to kill his brother, and I'm going to kill my cousin. So about that time, K9 cop came up. He said, James, you're not going to jail today. I got you. Calm the fuck down. He said, you get the fuck away from him, because at this point, he probably can kill you. And you, take them cuffs off him, man. This dude's a college kid. He goes to fucking school. He goes home. He goes to work. And sometimes he helps cops get rid of the drug dealers that live next door to him. So therefore, get him out of the cuffs. So the K9 cop, thank you, sir, so much, because he kept me from going to jail that night. Now, we're sitting there and explaining it. So the cop came around to talking to my cousin, who told this motherfucker all kinds of lies. Cuz talks to me. He's like, yo, did y'all drop a white girl off at the church? I said, dude, it is 4 churches on Rowell Road. We ain't make no motherfucking stops. We almost crashed twice. And he was drunk. So that's why I got behind the wheel to get him back out here. Now, I didn't come up here to get the SmackDown. I was watching SmackDown, but I ain't come up here to become part of the SmackDown. He's like, okay, so you don't know them. I said, man, I ain't never seen these motherfuckers a day in my life, and they better hope like fuck I'll never see them again. Plus my eye's bleeding. So I had to point that out because there's blood trickling down my face. And so he's like, all right, you just sit tight right quick. And so they talked to the driver who broke his hand on my face. They talked to the big brother. And both of them have agreed that they never saw me before. So then they started asking me about the white girl that my cousin said we dropped off. And I said, look, dude, my cousin's lying through his motherfucking teeth. There was no white girl. We didn't pick nobody up. I didn't drop anybody to fuck off. But I'm fixing to drop those 3 guys in a minefield. Hey, calm down. Calm down. Stop threatening. I said, oh, this is not a threat. This is a guaranteed motherfucking promise. If I catch any one of these motherfuckers before the night's over with, I'm gonna fucking kill them. Because I didn't deserve this shit for being a good person. So, long story short, I had to walk all the way the fuck back across town. From Rowell Road. All the way to Rougemont. Mad as fuck. Eye bleeding. Broken glasses in my hand. And to top that off, those 3 son bitches drove past me and honked the horn. So, the next day, before I could get out of the shower, I had to go to the spectacle shop to give them the glasses so that they could fix it. And so I got the glasses over there somewhere. They're fixed, but, you know, they're done. Because my eyes have gotten, like, weaker, so I have to get a new prescription. But anyway, they got broke. I went to the spectacle shop before I got home to get in the shower. And I went there because I didn't know what time they opened up. So that's why I didn't take a shower. There's still dry blood on my face. And I didn't know it was there. And I explained to them what I explained to y'all. And then there's like, okay, so they fixed the glasses for free. And because I didn't press charges on them because I just wanted to go home, it wasn't no big fucking deal. And then my dumbass cousin, because I go to my grandma's house to let her know that if her grandson shows up, I'm fucking him up. And that's all to that. I am fucking him up. It's like, what? I said, Tony got my ass beat up last night for some shit that I don't drink and I don't drive and I don't steal vehicles. But your grandson stole these dudes' vehicle and they broke my glasses and cut my eye. So Tony comes in and I'm about ready to go to his ass. But then my Uncle Joe's like, nah, you ain't gonna do that today. I was like, you ain't the one that got punched in the motherfucking face. No. And so, good old Uncle Joe. You supposed to be Bruce Lee, motherfucker. You missed the class, huh? Whoa! So that made me mad. I was like, alright, you gonna remember that shit. So, I left, but I told my cousin, I said, you better find whatever way you can to go the fuck back to North Carolina. If you come anywhere near me or the house that I'm staying in, I'm gonna break your fucking legs. I said, not only am I gonna break your legs, I'm gonna break them so bad you'll never heal. I said, I'm gonna break your femur and your kneecaps, and then I'm gonna break your elbows and your ankles. It's like, God damn. I said, ain't no goddamn, you set me up for this ass whooping and you know it. And he's like, well, I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry doesn't cut it. Sorry I didn't pay for my glasses this morning. The spectacle shop fixed them for free. Sorry I don't pay for this cut that's on my eye. You know. So, like I said, that guy was bigger than me. You have to know your way around a fight. You have to. You have to actually been in a few fights. Alright? And a lot of people fail to understand that shit. You ain't been in a few fights, you get your ass kicked. Hell, if you've been in a few fights, you still might get your ass kicked. But you know, what I learned from that was, don't wear my seatbelt like that anymore. So I have a seatbelt. It has a gut waist as well as a shoulder strap. That bitch is already locked in. I just put the shoulder strap on. Because the next time I'm stuck in a seatbelt, I'm coming about that son bitch. And whoever's there, it's all she wrote for that person. It's going to be an unfortunate side effect that I'm going to have to hurt someone really fucking bad. Now, prior to that, years prior to that, I have fought many people bigger than me. Many people. When we first moved over here, I had to choke a guy out 3 times, and he was way bigger than me. He was almost 6 foot even, and I was like 5'1" at the time. And we just moved over here. I just got back home from my last summer with my father, and this motherfucker wanted to start a goddamn fight because all I wanted to do was go home, and he wouldn't let me go home. So I fixed his wagon, and I'm gonna tell you where I fucked up on that. I fucked up the first time because I put him in a rear neck and choke. I put him in this one because this is not my strong arm. It's my left arm. So I figured, if I just reel on it, he'd leave me alone. He didn't want to play that game. I let him go. He started again. So then I put him in this one because this is my strongest arm. At least it was at the time. So I'm reeling back on him again. And I have my knees in his back. And a lot of people don't understand. Your whole body is your tool. If you are taught properly in every fight that you are in, you should be able to use every part of your body as that weapon. I got my knees high in this dude's back, like right in his shoulder blades, like right at the bottom of his shoulder blades, ducking. Like I said, I'm 5'1". I'm like a spider monkey on this motherfucker, and I'm choking the shit out of him. And I told him, I said, yo, let this be the last time. If I let you go and you try something else stupid, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And it's because you don't know who the fuck I am. And that seems to be a thing with people because everybody's bigger than me and they just think they're just going to walk the fucking dog with me because I'm a small man. No. Dynamites come in small packages too. I let the motherfucker go. He tried again. This time I put him in a cobra clutch. See that little tiny triangle right there? That's where his head was. And I started reeling up and driving my knees into his back. And I said, see here? This could have just ended the first 2 times. Now this dude's choking. And he's light skinned like me, so he's not doing too well in the color department. He's getting a little darker, and I'm choking the fuck out of him. And I said, I fucking told you, you can have the neighborhood, but you don't rule me. I will break your motherfucking neck. And I got my knees in his back, and I'm squeezing them, leaning forward and pushing my knees into his back. And this dude is coughing and choking and spitting all over me, and I'm like, nah, see, you had your motherfucking chance. This is your 3rd and final strike. Now you make sure you understand something, goddammit. Just because you're bigger than me, don't mean you can beat my ass. I let him go. I went home. He ain't bothered me no motherfucking more. And nobody on Rougemont bothered me since that shit. And I've always told people, don't let your size give you false hope. Don't let your size make you think that you're going to automatically get a goddamn victory just because you're bigger than somebody. You don't know what somebody else knows until that fight starts. I thought because he was bigger than me that, yeah, this was going to be a problem. But not one time in my head did I think, oh, I'm going to lose this fight. No, in my head I thought, I'm going to have to kill this motherfucker. The way I was taught to. See, what you failed to understand was like not too long after that, I was taught by a Green Beret how to fuck people shit up. Now, prior to that, every one of my mom's brothers except for one has been a serviceman. They've taught us a few things. My Uncle Robert on my dad's side was a serviceman. taught me some shit. Now, I joined the army, learned some shit, but they weren't teaching shit that I didn't already know. I learned more lethal shit out of the army by a fucking Green Beret versus what I was learning in the army at Fort Benning. Because in Fort Benning, they taught us Taekwondo and they taught us Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So, that being said, you know, I learned the hard way. That I already knew more before I got into the army versus getting there. And then when I got there, I learned some shit. I learned how much I fucking suck at Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So like I tell people all the time, if I get into a fight with a guy who does Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, I ain't letting him take me to the ground because I already know. That's a wrap for me. It's a wrap. That's my only weakness. I don't have a good ground game. I have a ground game from some of the Kung Fu I've learned. But for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, I ain't got no ground game, yo. I be tapping like a motherfucker. Just to get that shit out of the way. Nope. I'll go ahead and take the bitch way out. Go ahead and tap. And everybody be like, well, that's kind of fucked up. Why would you do that? He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. Storm Shadow. G.I. Joe. Here's mine. He who fights to survive will always know how to thrive. And sometimes you gotta lose to win. Alright? Might not like that saying, but it's also a true saying. Because if you get into the wrestling business or if you get into the UFC, you got two options. KO or tap out, unless something gets broken. And if you're Forrest Griffin and something gets broken, you're probably just going to keep fighting. Because most people, warriors, can keep fighting. But like I said, I ain't got no ground game. So if we're doing a street fight, but you're a grappler or you only know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I got your number. Alright? I got your number. And I know you're probably thinking, how do you get my number? I say it's really quite simple. You have to come down to my size to take me to the ground. And I'm already short. And they do teach you how to sprawl. Alright? And that sprawl is going to be the difference between life and death when it comes to fighting someone who does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or any kind of grappling shit. So if you're going against somebody who has grappling technique or fights with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they're going to be able to rough your house a little bit, and you're going to need to be able to counter that shit. And to counter someone who's coming in at you, and if you can't sprawl fast enough, a knee to the face slows everything down. A knee to the throat, a knee to the face, you're going to be better kneeing them in the face. And in the event that you can't and they hit you in the gut and elbow to the spine, you're going to be able to do that. Now, in fighting rules, that shit's not allowed. Alright, because I had a discussion with a friend who's like, so if the guy's tackling me or getting ready to scoop me up and slam him, can I elbow him in the spine? It's like, hell no, you can't elbow him in the spine. You trying to kill him? I said, yes, I am. Because that's what I was fucking taught to do. So that kind of went that way. And here's the thing about being a human being. The human body is durable and not durable at the same time. Let me explain that to the people in the back. Alright? You can be tough as nails and still get fucked up. You can be strong as steel and still get fucked up. And the thing is, knowing the human body, knowing your way around the human body, knowing your way around fights is going to prepare you for fighting somebody regardless of the size. Now, I'm a small guy. I've only combated people bigger than me. I've never fought anybody smaller than me. Ever. Not in a real fight. In real fights, everybody that's ever fought has always been bigger than me. So it's been more easier for me to beat their ass because first they look right at me and they start laughing. And like, he's 5 foot nothing. He's 100 and nothing. Easy pickings. And that's been how I won them all. Yeah, that's how I won them all. It is skill. It is luck. But more importantly, it's that underestimation of someone by looking dead at my face and saying, oh, this little guy, he's got nothing. I'm going to be able to beat him, no problem. No, you're going to have to work to beat me. And there's going to be problems. 120 pounds of problem. You know, and you're gonna need to know more multiple martial arts to fight me. And the thing is, if you get in close, your ass is mine, cause I can grapple you, cause I got little grappling skills, chokeholds. You know, I'm not proficient at like certain shit, but I can put you in an armbar, I can put you in a guillotine, I can put you in a triangle. Am I fucking great at it? Not as much as that rear neck and choke, not as much as that cobra clutch. No, those are my killers right there. This bitch right here, that's my favorite one. Because it's easy to snap your fucking neck like a chicken when your head's in that little tiny triangle right here. That little triangle, see where that dot is? Yeah, let me, right there. You know, it's not that difficult. You know, rear neck and choke, you can turn to survive that shit, but I don't have anywhere for you to go in this triangle. You got nowhere to go. My arm can go up and down, and at the same time, collapse your windpipe. We're good. No. Plus, I'm behind you. My knees are going to be in your back, especially if you're like 6'4", 6'5", because I'm really small. So my knees are going to be in your back. If I get them in the right position on your spine, I can be choking you and have one base knee and start kneeing you with the other knee. So it sounds impossible, but nothing is impossible. Understand that shit. Highly improbable, yes. Nothing is impossible. And I tell people this shit because here's that thing. Most people of a certain height, most people are afraid of people that's 6 foot and above. Alright? People who are 6'2", 6'1", they're not really that intimidating. When you start reaching those 6'4", 6'5" guys, and you're like, I'm 5'3". So you know my head's like at their chest level. And you start reaching those 7-footers where my head is just above their waist, thank God. You know, those guys are big. They're just big. Still human. And that's where people get fucked up. So I want to end this video on this. And you need to understand this. If you don't understand anything else in life, today, tomorrow, tonight, there are no humans that are invincible. Not you, not me, no one. Right place, right time, right body and positioning, right knowledge of the human body itself, and you will have a hard time getting your ass kicked. You don't have that knowledge, you haven't really been in any fights, you can still win. You just gonna have to fucking work. And that's the thing, which is why I'm gonna have to make a part 3, because this thing's like almost 30 minutes and I don't know how long the other one is. But I figured I'd make a part 3 about, you know what, fuck it, just keep going. You have to know how the human body works. You have to be adaptable in a fight. You have to learn how to adjust on the fly. You need this shit. You need to have knowledge of fighting. You can go study all the martial art movies, excuse me, all the martial art training videos. You can study all that shit. But you also need to put that shit into practice. If you're not practicing on a daily basis, or if you're not training at all, so you're not a professional athlete, so you're probably not training every day, all day. You might be a die-hard martial artist, and you might go to martial arts 5 days a week. But are you putting that extra training in when you go home? Because if you're not putting that extra training in when you go home, you're doing it, but you're not fully committed. If martial arts isn't your life, you know, it's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But martial arts is my life. It's the only thing that makes me happy because it's all I got. You know, yeah, I got video games, but it's called Kung Fu Havoc number 2 for a fucking reason. You know, I'm at my happiest when doing martial arts. I wish I had training partners. I wish I could make more movies. Right now I don't have that ability, but you know, it's the thing. But I can tell you, once you know your way around a fight, once you know that you can fight, the world's different. Alright? The world is way different once you know that you can fight. The world's not different when you don't know you can fight. And here's the thing. You'll start keeping records of your fights. Alright? And I mean not to brag or anything like that. You start keeping records of your fights. Make sure you count those losses. I lost quite a few sparring matches, but I've never lost a real fight. That makes sense? Because I've learned from my sparring matches on what I need to fucking improve on. But also, the main person that will help you lose is you. I told you about sparring matches in video 1. Maybe this video. I don't remember, but I did tell you about the sparring match from the guy from New York. I will tell you the key to why I actually lost. I let his reputation get to me. And everybody kept telling me he was a badass, he's a badass, he's a badass. And upon sparring with him, he wasn't really a badass. I had told myself prior to getting ready to spar with this motherfucker, because they goaded me into that shit, which means I'm dumb, that I was going to lose. The first thing I did, I said, I'm probably going to lose to this motherfucker. Never say that. Because you don't know if you're going to win or lose until the fight fucking starts. Never tell yourself you're going to lose. Because you will lose. You speak it into existence. I'm going to win every fight from now on, or I'm going to die trying. That means whoever I get to fighting with is going to have to kill me to stop me. Now that I don't have a problem with. Because I'm going to die doing what I love. Versus, I'm going to lose to this guy. I'm going to lose. If you tell yourself you're going to lose, you're going to fucking lose. Because you told yourself you're going to lose. And then you got into your own head and you fucked yourself. So don't do that. The dog's going. So I'm going to end this video and start posting. Thank you guys for being here. All 225 of you. You mean the world to me. I hope I taught you something. There will be a Instagram Friday Night Live, depending on weather and depending on location. If I can do it at my job, I will probably do it at my job. But if I can't, again, depending on the weather, if I can't, then I won't. And it'll probably be about like 4 something Eastern Standard Time. That being said, I am Echo Fan Grey Wolf. Thank you guys for being here. Much love. Be seeing you.